Good afternoon, live in St George's Square in Luton for Imagine Luton, the festival. But I'm just about to walk into the circus tent, the big top, and from the heat of outside to the heat of what's going on inside, and there is an awful lot going on here. It is going to be really difficult to explain what. Imagine a garage full of stuff, and somehow there's an explosion in the garage and everything is just thrown into the air and then just hangs there. That's what's in front of me here in the big top, and there are jugglers rehearsing to my left. Everyone is doing something here. Goodness me. Let's talk to... Good afternoon. What's your name?
Lena. I'm Lena Johansson.
Lena, welcome. And your role here?
I'm the artistic director of Mimbra and director-choreographer of this show, the Exploded Circus.
How do you explain this? Because it looks wonderful, but for people listening at home or in their car, I mean, it looks like everything's just been thrown into the air and just hangs there.
Well, basically, it did start just as an idea, over a glass of wine with the designer Lauren Elstein, who I've been working with a lot, and a few other people, Al Orange and the composer Quinta, and we were saying, there's an installation, Cornelia Parker's The Exploded Shed, which we'd seen, and we're like, oh, that's great. What if we do that with a circus? What if we take all the things you think about with circus, so it's like the rope ladders and the rings and the trapeze and the silks and the bike and the clubs and the chairs and everything, and just explode it, and then freeze that moment, as if gravity just froze.
That's the word I was looking for. It's frozen. Everything is just frozen mid-air.
That's right. That is right. It's totally just hanging there and in suspension. And then basically should I tell you a little bit about the beginning?
Yeah,
of the show. Well, in the beginning of the show, the circus performers from the circus before the explosion, they come onto this stage and they basically wonder what on earth was happening here. And their circus has just all totally changed. Their world has exploded. And it becomes a story about them trying to rebuild their circus again.
There's half a bike hanging over there. There's a step ladder, there's a suitcase, a briefcase hanging in there, some clothes, half a drum kit or a unicycle. There's a lady at the top. She should be there.
Yeah, she should be there, but she will come down.
There's a horse's head, there's bits of lettering. I did come in a little bit earlier, and it wasn't quite as exploded as it is now. This is very there.
Yeah, it is totally like in that moment of like mid-explosion. What really fascinated me once we got really excited about the visual ID, and then what excited me was, well, what is it when something, when there's a moment of destruction? What really fascinated me was looking at photographs and videos of slow motion of explosions. There's a weird sort of beauty in that moment of destruction.
That's the right expression. There is this sort of there is a very weird and beautiful sense that you can actually just walk through time standing still.
Yeah. And it's like chaos, but it's not chaos. There's a very intricate system to get this right. But it's sort of that fascination with that actually out of chaos new things are born. And I think that's where then I got off with the storyline. But the performers we have are so talented, so amazing. I got three from here for you to talk to. We got jugglers, we got aerialists, like the lady up in the air, she will tumble down on the red silk. We got the hoop that keeps tipping, so the performer has to balance precautiously over there. We've got a fantastic clown and acrobat. We've got a rope artist. I mean, they're clambering all over. And like you say, there's half a bike hanging there. It will be constructed as it goes along, and tricks will be done on that bike that will blow you away.
No way. Yeah. That's amazing. We're expecting your audience to come in about 4:30 or so. And then this weekend, there's this festival taking place in Luton. What sort of reaction do you get from the public?
First of all, when they walk in, you normally get the sort of oh, wow. And people literally just walking in going, wow. And there's a lot of, I've never seen anything like that before. There's a lot of clapping, a lot of woo, woo, a lot of wooing. And it's a new show. It was premiered at the end of May, and we've had brilliant reactions. It's a sensory overload. So to start with, like you say, oh my God, there is so much things here. And then it's they really get, when I'm sitting among the audience, they do really get sucked into it, and then it all becomes, the whole set totally changes.
I just can't see how they're going to put that bike back together, but I should be looking out for how they do that. Well done, you. Lovely to meet you. Let's talk to some of your crew. Good afternoon. Just remind us of your name.
I'm Farrell.
And you're from Luton?
Yeah, I am from Luton.
Okay. So what's your role here?
My character's name is Antoinette, and I do Tippy Hoop in the show.
Just explain for people what that role means, tippy hoop.
So it looks like a normal hoop, which is suspended from the air,
There's nothing normal here.
but it just tips a bit. So it tips from side to side. Yeah, so it looks like a chandelier. Imagine a chandelier in your house, and then it just tipping a bit.
What people at home or in the car can't see is when you said all that, your eyes were sparkling. You're thinking, yeah, this is going to be really wild.
Yeah, so they should totally come and watch the show.
So you're from Luton. How did you get involved with this?
How did I get involved with this show or with circus?
With circus.
There's actually a circus school in Luton called Aerial Arts Luton, and that's where I trained for a bit. And I trained there whilst I was doing my degree away, and it sort of went from there, really.
How did you want to do that? I mean, because it's not the sort of thing you think one morning, you wake up one morning and think, do you know what, I want to be a circus performer.
Well, I saw great shows like this, really, and I saw like Cirque du Soleil and other great shows and great companies. I was like, I want to do that. And I found a class and I ended up training, and yeah.
So Farrell, the show, I mean, there's an audience here later on this afternoon, and you're sort of getting ready with your colleagues. What does the show preparation mean? I mean, at this sort of hour, what's it coming up to sort of 15 minutes to 4, what would you normally be doing? Because the show time is about 45 minutes or so's time.
Well, we'd drink lots of water, have a few snacks, warm up a bit, and then we'll play some games, all of us together as a cast, to just try and get ourselves connected and just really be there for one another.
Just water, because there's a really nice bar to my right with a popcorn machine and everything. That looks really cool.
I would love some popcorn, and I would love an orange juice, but just water for now.
Just water. Farrell, great to meet you. Looking forward to your show. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Hello, I'm Ariel.
Ariel, okay, Ariel, does that mean you're going to do stuff in the air?
I do anything but anything in the air. Yeah, ironically enough.
So what is your role in the show?
So my character is Baz. I am the clown of the show that tries to be the ringmaster as well. And I do hoop diving and slack rope and floor acrobatics.
Slack rope?
Yes.
What's slack rope?
Slack rope is kind of like a tight wire, but instead of being tight, it's a slack rope. So I walk on a rope, basically.
This all looks like it's going to be really wild, but an awful lot of fun.
Definitely. Best fun we ever had in any show so far.
And how because the accent's not from Luton, how did you get involved?
So I'm from Canada originally, Quebec. I saw an ad for the casting of the show and applied, came to London to audition, and here I am now.
And what's it like working with this crew? I've seen you all rehearsing and working. You seem happy.
They're my new family. They're my English family.
Great to meet you. Looking forward to your show as well. And our last guest for this segment, of course. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Coral.
Coral. What are you doing tonight in the show?
Okay, so my character's actually called Carol, which was a little bit of a joke, and it stuck. And I do cordelice, so that's a rope. It's a vertical rope. It's a singular rope, and it hangs from the top of the truss all the way to the ground.
Now, can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
Much earlier, when I came in and looked around, there was a rope hanging down. It's a bit spongy feely, grey, brown colour. Was that your rope?
So my rope is actually black. It's hanging up on the truss there. It's all looped up. Maybe it looked a bit brown, but it's a black rope.
It felt very spongy. That was the one I was not playing with. I just sort of, this looks cool.
Had to go on my rope.
Sorry.
It's nylon strands covered by a cotton sheath. And it's really sturdy, and I climb up and down it.
You say up and down, because we've been trying to. It's very difficult to describe to people listening at home or in their car what the set is like. It is extraordinary. This set, it's like it's just frozen, everything thrown in the air and frozen in time.
It's literally what it is. That's exactly what it is. It's chaos, and sometimes it doesn't even feel like organised chaos, but it is chaos, and it's so much fun to be part of it.
At the end of it, because it looks like one of those really dynamic, energetic shows. At the end of it, does it leave you drained?
As a performer, I mean, you go off sweating and excited, but it's really good fun, and you're exhausted, but there's an adrenaline to it, so it's not lie down on the floor and die. It
is going to be amazing. You just look at it; it is going to be amazing. The festival is on this weekend in Luton. Elsewhere where you perform, what sort of reaction do you get from the audience?
So everywhere we've been, people have really loved it. So kids have loved it, adults have loved it. Everyone gets laughs and claps during the show. It's felt really responsive, and everywhere we've gone, we've felt really connected to the audiences, which has been really nice.
It just looks so cool. It looks like one of the things. If you take a picture and you put it on Instagram, for example, it just looks so cool.
Yeah. It is. It's pretty cool. I think it's taken a lot of work, and it's just paid off because it's beautiful.
Ladies, lovely to meet you. Do you need any extra help this afternoon? Because producer Usman, I don't want to get him off my hands. Could you use him for anything? That's what I say. Yeah. What could this gentleman do during the show? Anything at all?
Enjoy
Enjoy it.
Well, sadly, it is an all-female cast, so...
We can fix that. Ladies, lovely to meet you. Thank you. Good afternoon. What's your name?
Rebecca Renison.
Rebecca, lovely to meet you. What are you doing on the show?
I'm doing silks, or some people call it tissue, aerial silks, and I'm doing rings, and I do counterweight with coral.
Right. Those silks,
Yeah.
you go up and down and you perform.
Yeah.
Is it strong enough?
It is. I hope it is. Yeah, it's special fabric that's only used for acrobatics.
Because I'm looking at it, it does look spectacular. We were posting some pictures up on
Yeah.
my Twitter feed. But when you're up there and you look at the crowd, can you see their faces? Can you see their
Can in
reaction?
this show, yeah. Because kind of at the beginning we're kind of shocked that the circus has exploded, so you're kind of, you're looking at the audience because you're wondering what's going to happen. So yeah, it's nice to see people's faces actually.
It's wild. It's what it is. There are bikes, there are sort of bits of sports equipment. There's
Yeah.
just things, umbrellas, suitcases, everything hanging up.
Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's even costumes from other circus performers at the back. Yeah. So some of the stuff is donated. Some of it's actually we use in the show, like the trick bike. I was telling a friend.
Well, no, friend is producer.
Producer.
Friend. Lovely to meet you. Break a leg for the performance. Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much indeed. What's the matter, Usman?
Listen, I can do more than just bring the popcorn, okay? I've been out here looking at this place. This place is amazing. There are broken bikes, there are horses' heads.
It looks broken. Once the show's finished, they'll put it all back together. Wouldn't worry about it. Got to line up a little gig for you. So we're going to venture back out to our broadcast.